Hey guys, I just wanted to do a reaction and review to Fear the Walking Dead season 4 premiere. Um, Sadly, I'm not going to be able to do an actual reaction to the video to the actual episode because as of recording this, I just played back my reaction video and basically all the footage I just had. It was just basically the whole video was just freezing and lagging, and it was just like out of sync audio and just like echoing audio for reasons I don't even understand, and I don't know why. Um, so I figured nobody's gonna want to see that, so I figured I had to upload like a general, like, overall review of the premiere. So they have the episode open up with start in media res with this guy John Deere kind of talking to himself talking to somebody who he thinks is out there. He realizes that he's heard a walker. He's able to pull out his revolver and shoot him, and then you see Morgan show up, and then you go back to where it all began with Morgan, like Rick and Jet and Jesus and Carol trying to talk Morgan into coming back to the hilltop and not alienate himself from people as much as he said. Rick telling him that he can hide, but he can't run from the world. But Morgan just ends up, packing his bag and, just literally just starts, decides to start running. And he does like this whole like montage of him doing from running to try getting to a different car to finding a guy in his car who's been, I guess, bitten. And he tries to leave him some or injured, or he's like his leg is injured. And he tries to leave him like some like rubbing alcohol and a bandage, and he just tells him just to take it and get out of there. Is like everybody's on their own in the world, in this new world. And this whole montage just keeps going until we get to Texas, where you finally see Morgan meet John Deere, and they end up getting but he doesn't want to stay with John Deere, so even though he takes up his hospitality to sleep in the back of his pickup, he wanders off, goes off to some tent where he gets knocked out by some guys, I guess, and I guess like in some kind of settlement. John comes to his rescue. They both get kidnapped until this woman named Althea with this SWAT armored vehicle and like machine guns comes to their rescue, and she turns out that she's a journalist and she wants to learn people's stories during the zombie apocalypse, and is like recording them on, and is like filming them on a camcorder. Morgan's reluctant to open up until they get ambushed by that same group again, and she ends up using those guns to like kill all the walkers, and when after the walkers like eat all the people that were attacking them. And so Morgan like vaguely opens up about we're coming from Alexandria and the War with the Saviors, and with Al asking this like armor piercing question: is Morgan running from something, like, or is he running towards something? And he finally just says, I lose people and then I lose myself. And so he tries to walk on his own, but because he got shot in the leg, he's not getting very far, especially when he gets chased by walkers, and John Deere once again comes to his rescue. And he ends up finding the same guy who he bumped into on the road and tried to give bandages and rubbing alcohol to, who's also been reanimated into a walker. And he decides, and Morgan of course stabs, impales him with his stick and gives him a proper burial. Morgan decides to travel with him until his leg heals up, and then they see a woman on the road who turns out to be Alicia, and she says that she needs help, but then it turns out that it's part of an ambush that she's leading, where you have ambushed by Luciana, Nick, and Victor Strand. Had them all. Um, Alicia has Al at knife point while everybody else is at gunpoint, and so you're kind of wondering, what's going on, like, what's happened in the time between seasons 3 and 4. Because there's obviously been a time jump, and because Fear the Walking Dead was originally a prequel, but now with Morgan, obviously, this obviously takes place. This season takes place right after the end of the season finale of The Walking Dead, and so now it's like the timelines for both shows are lined up a little bit more, and now it'll be interesting to see what happened with this time jump between seasons 3 and 4. What the Clarks have been up to, and also since that dam explosion, since that's the last thing that happened is that they were at this dam in season 3. There was this fight, and there was all these explosives that got off. Everybody got separated and caught in the water. Yeah, Mass is the one that got separated from the rest of the cast, and which may have something to do with why she's not here. We're not sure. But it was interesting to see I liked how it was interesting, like the cinematography they used, like how it started off with the usual color palette for The Walking Dead, and so for most of this episode, during Morgan's journey, they started to rely more on muted colors just to make it feel like a western, a neo-western, and even you know, like they're even trying to revamp the show, because it's like with the change of the title card, the a stylized version of the opening theme for Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, you almost think that this was almost it's supposed to be like a new Walking Dead spinoff, with starring Morgan and all these new people being part of a supporting cast, up until you see everybody from Fear the Walking Dead show up. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, it was a great crossover episode, and interesting to see how Morgan fits in and interacts with this group, and get kind of a fresh new story, because we've been with this whole 2-year Rick and his group versus the Savior story, and it'll be nice to be something that's not going to be slavish to the comic books. Like, the writers get more creative freedom, and maybe they'll introduce elements of the comic books in it. I don't know, because Morgan's the only original character who's part of this group now, is part of the show now. So time will tell, what kind of direction they're going to take season 4. But anyway, guys, what do you think of the premiere? Is this something, or if you've never seen Fear the Walking Dead, are you interested now? Were you disappointed with how it started out before and how slow it was? And does this reignite your interest? What are your predictions for season 4? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.